Hey there everybody, Aaron here, and welcome to a special video to celebrate the fact that my channel just recently hit 100,000 total views, which is pretty cool. So we're going to do something a little different today than what I have set up to be my normal schedule, and we're going to take a look at my top 5 favorite video games.
Number 5.
World of Warcraft. So I can't neglect to put this video on, this game I should say, on here because honestly I've spent far too much time playing this game to not have it on here. World of Warcraft, of course, is an MMO published by Blizzard, developed, and blah 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 by Blizzard Entertainment, now Activision Blizzard, but it's been around for, I don't know, I think we passed the 10th anniversary here. Came out in around 2004. I've played the game since 2005, pretty steadily for the most part, except for the last couple years. I've been more off and on with it, but I've spent far too much time in this game to not have this on the list. Unlike a lot of people, a lot of people make fun of it, but I personally enjoy the lore quite a bit for the entirety of the game, and the entirety of the Warcraft series as well, from what I've been able to play. And I really enjoyed this game, and I've spent, like I said, so much time playing it. But as you can see here, I actually have footage from Wrath of the Lich King, which was the expansion that I spent the most time doing stuff in, and is probably the expansion I look back on the fondest, because I got to participate in the most things during that time frame. But, so yeah, number 5 is the World of Warcraft. Great game and a lot of fun.
Number 4.
Digimon World 2. Now, as some of you may know, I have a series going for Digimon World 2 on here, and I have a series for World of Warcraft going on currently as well. I will have annotations previously that you'll have seen for the WoW one, and I'll have one right here to the Digimon World 2 playlist. But of all the Digimon games that I've played, this is still one of my favorites, and I'm not going to lie, my personal nostalgia plays a huge role in that. But this entire list is basically based off of that, so I'm not saying with any of these games that they're necessarily amazing games, but they are my favorites for one reason or another. Digimon World 2 was not the first Digimon game that I played. I actually did start with Digimon World, interestingly enough. But 2 really kicked it up for me. I had by far the most interest in that one starting out, greatly thanks to the success of Pokemon with me, which I really love the game. It really brought me into the capture and training of monsters or creatures genre, and because of that, I really liked Digimon World 2 because they actually allowed you to capture or recruit more Digimon, and you could have tons of the Digimon in the game. And at the time, it had probably 90% of the Digimon that existed at that time were in that game. And it was the first time we got to see Mega Digivolutions in the game, as well as Omnimon appearing in an actual game, so that was pretty neat. To be honest, I've spent a ridiculous amount of time playing this game, and I have yet to beat it. The game it takes so long. I've spent so much time playing it, and somehow I've still never seen the ending or actually completed the game. But I've probably spent well over, honestly, I probably couldn't even hazard a guess how much time. I've spent many days growing up playing this game throughout the summers and when I was sick and all kinds of fun things. So this is definitely one of my favorite games of all time.
Number 3.
Ogre Battle 64. This is probably a little bit more of an obscure title, but this started off a whole trend of things with me. Namely the fact that Atlas, which is the publisher of this particular game and many other games that are within my library of favorite games, they tend to publish like more obscure titles that I tend to really enjoy. Like I really get a kick out of them, and we wouldn't see them if Atlas didn't publish them. But they also have this streak, at least in the past, and while there is still physical media, eventually when that all shifts to digital, this may not be the true anymore, but they had a notorious streak for making their games exceedingly rare to get your hands on. If you missed the initial release of something, you likely didn't see another one, or you were lucky if you ever even saw another copy of the game. And this has held true for many of their games until the recent trend to start putting things up digitally. And Actually, all of the games on this list here are going to be available digitally in some form or another here within the next couple of months, so that's pretty neat. So if you want to check those out, you'll have your opportunity. Ogre Battle 64 is currently up on the Virtual Console for Wii and probably Wii U, I'd imagine. I don't have a Wii U, so I have no way of confirming that, but that would be my guess. Ogre Battle 64 is kind of a tactical, it's a combination of like a tactical RTS RPG game. I say RTS because you can see in the footage here that I've got that it's like there's kind of some RTS-y things in it, and they're kind of, you know, there's RPG things in it, and then it's very much a tactical game. You have to tactically, deciding on how you recruit cities and stuff affects your overall morality and all kinds of fun things. But this is one of those games that it's very long, actually. There's 4 chapters, and it takes a long time to get through it. But man, I loved playing this game every minute of it. This game was the first game to bring me into actually spending time on the internet when it was still just starting to get popular. And I actually spent time looking up things. I got involved in forums involving this game. And I actually still have some friends that I made based off of the forums that I hung out there today. That's just Ogre Battle 64. It's a fun game. I love the hell out of it. I wish we would get another Ogre Battle game like this one. If you're interested in checking out predecessor of this, there is actually a couple of them, but the closest one to being Ogre Battle 64 would be Ogre Battle March of the Black Queen on the SNES, which is also available on the Virtual Console. So really, I love this game.
Number 2.
Pokemon Red. So you guys probably could have predicted this showing up, but I bet you didn't predict that this was going to be my number 2 favorite game. Pokemon. To be honest, I could have put any of the Pokemon series in here because I've enjoyed all of the Pokemon games. Even during the times where a lot of the original players dropped off in the Game Boy Advance era, I played all of them. I loved them all, and I still enjoy the Pokemon games. It's probably the ultimate geek out thing for me is the Pokemon game. So, but I picked Pokemon Red mainly because that was the first Pokemon game I ever played. I got it shortly after it was released over here, and it started the whole thing off for me. And because of Pokemon Red, you know, games like Digimon World 2 are actually on this list because that is what started the whole collecting thing for me. Another game that doesn't make this list but would be in my top list are like the other Digimon games. The Dragon Warrior Monsters series is another series I really enjoy that got its inspiration from Pokemon to some extent. So, or at least I got the inspiration to play them from Pokemon. So, Pokemon Red, everybody. Good game, a lot of fun. Can't wait for it to come out on the Virtual Console here in February. Quickly, before we get to the number 1 game, I wanted to do a quick mention of some honorable mentions that are not in my top 5 list, but would definitely be in top 10 to top 20. And I kind of mentioned a couple of these already, but like the Dragon Warrior Monsters games would be in there. All of the Digimon World games, if I can just lump them all together, would all be there because I enjoy all of them. Final Fantasy games, which don't make an appearance in this particular list, but I have enjoyed, oh man, all of the PlayStation Final Fantasy games for sure are definitely awesome. I'm excited that Final Fantasy IX is getting a PC release here, just so that I can have it in my digital library on Steam. I'm ecstatic about that, actually. That's all the honorable mentions I can think of off the top of my head, but there we go.
And number 1.
Shin Megami Tensei Persona 4. So I recently, for Christmas, my wonderful wife got me, actually for my birthday, I guess it wasn't Christmas, but for my birthday, my wonderful wife got me a PlayStation TV. And the nice thing about a PlayStation TV is that you can play PSP games on it, old PlayStation games, and Vita games. And I was ecstatic because I specifically wanted that to be able to get my hands on Persona 4 Golden, which was a remake of Persona 4 that they added some new content to and a lot of quality of life upgrades and things, and it's awesome. I just recently beat it, and I have to admit it is the reason why I decided to do this as my video for my 100,000th views for passing that. So I'm not sure, to be honest, entirely what it is about Persona 4 and why I really like the game, but it is my top game. For whatever reason, I really connected with the story, and I really connected with the characters, and this is a game that I have to honestly admit I would love to see them to make a direct sequel of Persona 4. And I know that the characters have appeared in, and they've continued some stories and stuff with them in other games. Believe me, I've seen them, if not played them. But it's just, I feel like it would be nice to see actual sequel to this with the characters again, because for whatever reason, I really made a connection with them, and it really is my #1 game. Another thing you might notice on this overall list is I like RPGs a lot, as that, like, everything on here is an RPG, now that I look at it. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But yeah, Persona 4, my #1 game. So that's going to do it for my top 5 favorite games. Were any of them surprises to you? Have you heard of all of them? Like, have you actually heard or played Ogre Battle 64? You know, feel free in the comments below to let me know what your #1 favorite game is and why, because I'd be honestly quite interested to see what pops up in that list. But that's going to do it for me today, everybody. Thanks for the 100,000 views. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your support. As always, take care of yourselves, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.